this morning.
Yeah.
And it just looked, did you see earlier, it looked like the vehicle was just sort of bumping up and down, but it seems like it's driving smoothly now. So I think that might have just been a very bumpy area, because I don't really, but it just looks like the car's almost on a weird angle or something, doesn't it? Just sort of look off. It's hard to tell because it's so far away, but look at that. They really tailed that vehicle, and maybe they heard the sirens coming, but they got out of the way.
Oh my goodness. I believe.
I hope they didn't hit them.
Did they hit spike strips? I was listening to our producer earlier. Did you say they did, Lisa? They did not. Okay.
Not that we know of.
Not that we know at this point. Again, this is all Southeast Houston. Last we heard the exact location we heard moments ago. Again, that was earlier. Telephone and Emancipation, and obviously continuing to travel through what is now more.
It's definitely more an industrial area, isn't it?
Yeah. Already past 45. I'm trying to, if I can pull up a map and at least get an idea of where exactly this might be now.
And I know our producers got a little closer look at the vehicle earlier. There is some right front damage. We don't know if that damage may have happened to this vehicle before, or because this is an ongoing situation. We don't know if they had to bump some cars, like what we saw a little while ago. It was hard to tell what happened there with that car getting out of the way, if they've hit something or hit another vehicle. But look, coming up to some traffic now, and this is where it gets worrisome, because now the officers are going to try to hopefully pass him and see what they can do. All right, it looks like he's pulling over and moving over to that far right-hand lane now.
Yeah, again, it
is that
essentially made a full circle, because right there next to 45 again. And some front end damage there as well too. Continuing to drive through what is more parking lots at this point now.
And then that again is very scary, because you think about just somebody who's walking in a parking lot. A lot of businesses hopefully not quite open unless they're working there this morning, so hopefully that'll be helpful as well. But looks like they're back on the roadway again now. And again, with this view, it's hard to tell if there's anybody else in that vehicle. We don't know what started this in the first place, but they're definitely avoiding the highways and trying to stay on these residential and industrial areas.
Yeah, I saw where he or she drove past what looked like a Republic battery, and that's actually right off of 610. So I said it was 45. That was actually 610. That the frontage road that driver was driving on, that was next to 610. So this looks like, from my understanding, they would be traveling west.
And producer Lisa, did you say Long Drive? Long Drive is where this is, and you said near 610?
Near 610, so this is southeast, East Loop area as well.
And there are quite a few officers now. I think it's hard to tell through the trees, but 1, 2, at least 3, maybe 4 behind him. And you would think that they may be trying to circle and coming from the other direction as well. But in a situation like this, it looks like they're really getting close up on them.
Yeah.
And they just have to be so careful with ongoing traffic so that nobody else gets hurt. And that's in a situation like this where they are, officers are just really concerned about public safety, and it makes it so difficult to try to pull off some type of maneuver where they're able to get them to stop in concerns of oncoming traffic.
The good thing is we're talking about 9-12 a.m. where most people are already at work by now, generally. At work by now.
At least we're not in the height of rush hour like we were a little while ago.
Yeah.
And again, parents trying to get their kids to school buses, things like that. Hopefully they are already there.
Yeah, so we're kind of being blocked right now by this line of trees at this point. But if you're just joining us here, we are following the latest. We are following the latest here. This is in Southeast Houston, a police chase. Now hearing whoever the driver was jumped out of the vehicle, running toward a business on foot at this point.
And we understand that was getting very dangerous because they were going eastbound in a westbound lane. But thank goodness that no longer is happening. Okay, so yes, now we see all the officers have stopped now. And look at this. You've got a mixture of houses and businesses and so many places for somebody to hide. So now we're... and now you can see the vehicle, you can see the front. Maybe that's why I was saying earlier, it just looked like something was off. That was definitely a wrecked vehicle. Yeah.
So you see this silver Toyota SUV surrounded by police at this point. We're hearing the driver got out of the vehicle and ran toward or into one of these businesses, industrial businesses you see right here. A lot of this area more so industrial with warehouses at this point. Southeast Houston, is this still Long Drive right here?
I only see the driver door open too. We were questioning if anybody else was in there, and you would think in that situation, you're getting out, you're not going to be shutting the door. So more than likely just a driver. We do not know that, but I see one officer standing right there in front of the patrol car, walking slowly, maybe just keeping an eye on the situation. We don't know if the suspect has been caught or not, but they've got a lot of officers running after. Okay, now we're seeing some more officers coming out of the area, and I don't see them holding anybody, and now they're running. And it doesn't look like anybody is, they're all going back to their vehicles, and I don't see anybody in custody.
Yeah, it looks more so like they're still looking for whoever this person is. Some of them still getting in their vehicles, so they're probably about to surround this neighborhood, maybe create a perimeter. But we will work to get this exact location, because perhaps you're watching and you have maybe a loved one, a friend, someone who lives in this area, and you definitely want to let them know right now that this is an ongoing, at this point, which would likely turn into a standoff if they can find where this person is and what business or home they may have run toward or into. At this point, the last we heard, the driver was headed east in the westbound lanes of Long Drive, Southeast Houston, and you can see here again businesses, homes, all in this area, and then hard to see from our vantage point, obviously, because you have the line of trees now blocking Skyfox, which is hovering overhead at this point.
And now it looks like if you see the officer's car is there at toward the bottom of your screen, officers were walking maybe a couple of houses ahead. So I have a feeling this is exactly what you mentioned earlier, Delon, where they're setting up a perimeter unless they have some type of knowledge that they could be in that house. But you would think anybody in this area, if you are in that area, lock those doors, make sure your house is tight as can be. But officers are surrounding the area trying to find this person. We don't know if they are considered to be armed and dangerous or just scared. I mean, there's so many different situations that would make somebody run, but in a situation like this, when they feel desperate, you just never know what could happen.
The last description we're just getting from our team: a heavy-set man, white shirt, black pants. That is the clearest description that we have at this point. Again, we're still working on to get the exact street that we're looking at right now. We just know this is Southeast Houston, and trying to work to at least give you some more details here on.
And look at that, you see the dog. That doesn't look like
it doesn't
look like a police dog. No, it's definitely not. So somebody's pet is out, it looks like. And I could see it if you see the bright orange tree to the right. I saw somebody running through there, but looked more like not somebody desperate, almost more like maybe an officer who was walking in that area. Or
this
even
looks
a
like,
neighbor, perhaps. You never know.
I'm looking on Apple Maps, and it looks like there is a perimeter set up, at least on Apple Maps, where you can see well, forgive me. Actually, I don't believe this is the exact area.
Yeah, we can definitely tell that this is a neighborhood. It's just hard to tell at this point exactly which neighborhood this is. And not seeing a whole lot of movement right now at this moment. And so I'm assuming a lot more officers are going to be coming to this area trying to get this secured. There's the dog running again at the bottom of your screen, probably scared with all the sirens going on and all the activity.
Yeah, you got to think of people who live in that area, will live and work in that area. They're trying to figure out what's going on. And then imagine them trying to figure out what's going on. They walk out of their door. And in situations like this, usually police will tell you immediately go back in your home while they're searching for a suspect who just got out of their vehicle there and running through this neighborhood. At this point could be anywhere in this area, but they have set up a perimeter. When we get the exact streets of that perimeter, we can let you know. So perhaps you can share with your friends and family who may live in this area of Southeast Houston, and let them know that this is going on right there nearby them.
And you can see all the vehicles more toward the bottom of your screen that are just driving by, but it looks like they have that one street blocked off. So hopefully they were able to move fast enough, and they did. When they realized they couldn't find this person, it sounds like a man now, when they were out of there, and they set this up as quickly as they could, knowing that he wouldn't be able to run any further than this particular street. What is that street? It starts with an M.
Yeah, I'm trying to look here. Can't get a good view from our chopper because it's a bit blurry there. We'll get some more clarity for you here.
7,000 block of Long Drive is the first information that we've gotten. So we're pulling up maps right now so we can get a better idea of perhaps we can get that cross street for you. That would be super helpful to give you a better idea if you happen to be familiar with this area in Southeast Houston.
Long and Chafin Street. I believe that might have been Moline Street we were looking at with the M then there.
Now we are getting a better idea of, the vehicle you're looking at now, those two officers, this is where it started, and you see that silver SUV right there that just pulled into that business area. The driver hopped out and ran, and so they're still staying there. This is the beginning of that perimeter. Then from what we can tell, they're one street over, I believe, right? Where the officers set that up, and so they believe that the suspect is somewhere between this point and the one we were showing you just moments ago in the 7,000 block of Long Drive. And what was again your cross street that you saw?
Chafin Street.
Chafin. Now I'm going to be looking up. We're just experiencing this with you, so we're trying to find out information as well. I'm going to see if I can find out what neighborhood would be in that area.
So this would be what you're looking at there, that that business with the blue building where they stopped at, I believe, based off of what I'm looking at on maps, this would be a Premier Lux Transportation. So a transportation company that has buses and SUVs there, and then several houses there nearby. So I believe this actually would be, now that I'm getting more clarity, this would be Long and Meyer Street.
Okay, and yeah, it looks like this might be the Gulf Crest neighborhood near Cullen and Park is what we are understanding.
Yep.
And again, so it gives you an idea that there are businesses in that area, like so many neighborhoods, businesses, but then all of the homes just lined up along there. And you would think at this time of day, a lot of people may be at work, and you don't know if they're going to be busting windows to try to get into a home and feeling desperate, or what's going to happen with that situation. But again, we can't see any signs at all that this person has been caught yet. You see an officer was walking slowly over to that far right-hand side of the building.
So if you have anyone that you know that lives in this area, this is a Long Drive near Meyer Street, and even a more maybe recognizable intersection would be Long Drive and Telephone Road, just off of 610, South Loop there near Cullen and Park. Be sure to call your loved ones that maybe live in this area, work in this area, and let them know that there is an active police investigation happening nearby where they live or work, and a perimeter is set up, it looks like, more so in the area of Long Drive, Meyer Street, and some of the other streets would be Kinney Street, Gillen Street, McHenry Street, all of those streets as well, where police are searching for this suspect, being chased by officers for quite some time, getting out there in front of what I said again was the Premier Lux Transportation, and running there on foot. And we don't even have a good view from overhead because obviously the trees and homes blocking.
That changes everything, doesn't it? I mean, those are some thick trees. There are so many different types of new neighborhoods in Houston where you would be able to see everything, and not this one. I mean, this is really lush landscaping, and so it is making it very difficult to get a bird's eye view of what's happening there. All we know is that this entire block is shut down with officers who were trying to find a suspect who started, I would say maybe half an hour ago or so now, started a low speed chase, never had the opportunity several times to get on highways, chose to stay within neighborhoods, and from what we saw, the chase never got above 35 miles an hour. We didn't see it for ourselves, but it is definitely a wrecked vehicle. We saw several vehicles just moving over to the side as fast as they could when they heard all of the officers coming up behind this, and they were able to get out of the way safely, but then jumped out of the car and is now running around somewhere in this neighborhood.
So we are watching this alongside you as police are still searching for this suspect. So we are passing along information. All right, we're just hearing now the suspect is in custody.
Thank goodness. That's a huge relief for anybody who is in this area.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. Hard to tell, again, from all the trees of where they were able to capture this person, if they were in a house or hiding under something around a home or in one of those businesses. But what a relief. Suspect in custody.
Yeah.
Hopefully no one injured throughout all of this, but we'll be finding out as much as we can.
So real quick, just to bring you up to speed, if you just turn your television on, we were following the latest. The suspect was being chased by police, Southeast Houston. This is Long Drive and Meyer Street near Cullen and Park. The suspect got out of the vehicle. If you look right there, center of your screen, this silver damaged Toyota SUV, got out of the vehicle, ran on foot, and we are now hearing that officers do have that suspect in custody. How and why this started, we don't know that just yet, but we will bring that to you throughout the day. And we will head to break. We'll have much more of Houston's Morning Show after this.